So it's safe to say that me and you, we kind of enjoy playing games. You know, we've been playing for quite a while for our lives. What was the
Yeah,
time when you thought, you know what? Yeah, I enjoy games. I like this. This is for
yeah.
me.
I don't have like I think like I've always I have no definitive memory. Oh no, tell a lie.
Mm.
So when I was younger,
Yeah.
my mum used to only let me play on my PlayStation for like an hour,
Mm.
which was basically nothing because like this was back when and like I used to only play like platformers and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and so you'd have to hit a save point in order to save
Carry
it.
on,
And I was
yeah.
like, you can't. Yeah, I was like, you can't really do anything, mum, because I keep dying. She's like, well, if you weren't bad at the game, then then you'd get further. Bearing in mind, I was like 6.
Yeah.
So then when I hit probably about like 12 or 13,
Yeah.
maybe something like that, and she got me my Xbox 360, and the first game she got me with it was Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh.
And oh my god, I never, yeah, like I completed it in like a week and a half, which at the time was really good for me.
Yeah.
And then the day I completed it, the next day Arkham City came out,
Ah.
and so I'd saved up all my money. I traded all my, do you remember that feeling when you have to like trade in all your old games to get like one new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I came out with Arkham City, and I went to my mum and I went, Mum, I love you. Do not disturb me all weekend. And I shit you not, I did not eat. I think I went to the no. I'm genuinely not even taking the piss. I was on that
Yeah, he wasn't.
PlayStation. No, sorry, that Xbox. I was sat at that Xbox on the Friday night. So every day I would wake up at like 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
because I was up so late, and I'd play it non-stop pretty much until like 3 in the morning, and then I'd pass out, and then I'd wake up and carry on playing.
God damn.
And then on the Sunday, I got up to the final mission, and I left my room for the first time. I took a piss, I had a shower, I went down and I made a jam sandwich, and I was like, I'm almost finished. And then I completed the game.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I'm not proud of it. And when I say complete, I mean like I 100%ed that game. Like I even did all the stupid Riddler trophy things,
Oh
which if
yeah.
you played those games, oh my god. Yeah. Sorry, what about you?
Oh well. I was just gonna say when I got like my PlayStation 2 when I was younger. That's really about it. Yeah. Since then, that's all.
You just let me ramble on this big ass odyssey about how I didn't piss for 2 days and
I'm just like, yeah, video games, fun.
video games. The two damn cousins out, they're watching movies. Hey there, and welcome back. You know what? No, that was weird. That was odd. You know what? I want to apologize first of all, because I listened back to last week's episode and it started with me rinsing you for how you introduced the show.
Oh.
But that was weird. Like I felt myself do that. I'm sorry. Um, Hi everyone. Welcome back to another week of Reinventing the Reel. I'm Curtis.
I'm Cameron. If you don't
How have you
know,
been this
now
week?
you know. Yeah, I'm alright. Come back to uni
Yeah.
now. I'm in a different space, so things might sound different with the mic, but it's all good. I've still got everything the same. It's just the room's bigger. Like if you see real reactions, I mean, by the time the episode of real reactions comes out, it will be like 2 months or something where I've been
Something like
back at
that.
uni, yeah. But I got big space behind me, so it's more echo, echo, echo.
Echo, echo.
But yeah,
Uh,
how are you anyway as
yeah,
well?
I'm not too bad. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. Tuesday, everyone knows Tuesdays. It's us. It's our day. We sit down, we record. We shoot the shit as it were, and I'm excited for this week because it's another themed week this week.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't even introduce what we do. What the? If you're a listener, you should know what we do by now. If not, we're a podcast where we take our favorite movies, TV shows, and in this case, games,
Ooh.
and repitch them.
So
Yeah.
this week we're gonna take a game. We got, we like our randomizers. We got a random list of games. Gonna chuck them in there. Make them a movie or a TV show. We'll just play it by ear. We got some good ones on there. Some well-known ones. There's a lot of well-known ones, to be fair. Kind of kept it to that, so like people go, ah, yeah, that's that, and then want to pull out like some random ass one, like Noita or something. Probably, I don't know who's heard of that game. I even forgot what that game is, to be fair.
I haven't heard of that game.
Yeah. So I guess we just jump right into it.
Yeah. All right, Cameron, come on. You know what to say.
Spin that reel. That was really. I don't even know if that came up on the thing.
Oh, oh. So, do you know what we got?
What did we get? What did we get?
We got Among Us.
That's gonna do us good for the algorithm. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I put that in there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh.
You know what? I know nothing about Among Us. I know you have to do tasks or something, and then okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
It's a
yeah.
pretty good.
Cool.
There's a pretty good premise around it. I think that could be fit into a movie or a TV show pretty well.
Mhm. Cameron, come on, hit me with it. Hit me with it. What's going on? Where you going?
Spin, spin that reel. I moved away from the mic for that one.
I was just watching you on the Discord call.
Yeah.
Just slowly move back.
Gonna
We
try.
have to add narration.
But yeah, that could work. That's quite easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has to be R rated.
Yeah, that's easy as well. It's Among
Yeah.
Us. Ain't it?
And the final one, it has to be an all-female cast.
Goddamn. Yeah, alright. That works.
Yeah.
Sand.
I'm feeling optimistic.
So,
I
I'll start
can't
off then.
English today.
If you don't know what Among Us is,
Yeah.
it
Tell
took
me.
the world by storm pretty much, like the end of last year. The game's been out like a year before that. So I think it came out 2019, maybe 2018. I don't know. Don't really know the history fully. But all I know is it blew up. Like loads of people were playing it. YouTubers, Twitch streamers, buddy, friends alike as well. Because it is pretty fun. I've played it before. It does drive me to drink though. It makes myself sound like a really massive alcoholic. But
Nah, you're
it's
just in uni.
what it is, it's just like the thought of one having to lie to my friends, two having to try figure out if they're lying to me, three it's just stressful. So I just like screw it, give me a beer. I need this. But yeah, so yeah, the premise is you're all on a ship or whatever the setting is, and one person's the imposter. It could be two people as well. I think for the sake of this film, we'll say about one person.
Yeah.
And the imposter needs to murder everyone and not find out and not be caught, basically. So if a person finds the dead body, they can call a meeting and then say, "Oh, I found this body in the reactor. I, I who came out of there last time?" And then like someone would go, "Well, I was in the toilet, and oh, I was in bloody I can't remember half the places. I haven't played it in ages."
I was in the
But
Jimmy Jam with Jackson.
exactly, yeah, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think for this movie,
Yeah.
we're not gonna say like we're not gonna pull a what's that film called where they're all on the camera? Social Network, is it? No, that's 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 not what I'm thinking. What?
Wait,
That's
what?
two different films.
Unfriended?
That's it. Yeah, Unfriended.
Yeah.
They're two
Okay.
completely different films.
I,
Anyway,
yeah, hit me.
I don't
what are
think
you
we should
thinking?
go for that. I think we should just do it as in like you've got this
I
crew,
think yeah,
and they have to go into space to do this mission.
yeah,
One person's a murderer, and then it's kind of like a who done it sort of situation.
yeah. We're very much on the same page. I was thinking like going down like a like an alien kind of 80s horror, like The Thing kind of, you know that kind of
Yeah.
like ah
Oh,
this is this got me excited. This is the type of movie I enjoy watching in my spare time, like that kind of
yeah.
like schlocky
Yeah.
like yeah.
All right.
I
So
like this.
first, we'll establish groundworks. So
Mhm.
I think to start off with, you got Sarah, Sarah Snap, who she had
Is that a
joined.
name? Yeah.
Yeah, she joined
Okay.
this program called the Among Us program, whatever, and
Nice.
it's like they go into space to like they have all these ships and maybe they're looking for intelligent life or whatever. So then
Mhm.
that gives like the double meaning to Among Us or whatever. But it could be called something else because that's a bit on the nose. But whatever. So she's on her she's like just finished training. She's with all these group of people who do you think they should know each other or shouldn't know each other?
I think maybe two of them should know each other.
Yeah.
Like I think like I think there should be like one couple that's like a couple or whatever,
Yeah.
and then I think the rest of them should just be like a motley crew, all kind of like put together. Like it's all female cast as well. But
Yeah.
okay, there's like a butch one who has all the guns and whatnot, and
Yeah.
there's a yeah. Come on, yeah, you all know what we're on about.
So yeah, she just finished her training at the academy, and there's like a group of 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all like, right, so we're gonna put you on this space station for about a week or so,
Mhm.
and then like, you've got all the controls to like power and stuff. You have to do tasks for us, so keep it clean, check cameras and look for things out there, destroy asteroids, all those kind of tasks that are in Among Us that you have to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like, oh, you can't take any valuables on there as well, really. Like
Okay.
only like the bare essentials, which gives the crux of there being someone's managed to sneak weapons onto this place.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's a difficult one to think about, to be fair. Because
Okay. So Sarah Snap.
yeah,
Let's make it motivated by character. So maybe Sarah Snap's mum was like a big hot shot in the space program or
yeah,
whatever they're called. Let's call him Star Command
okay,
because my man Buzz Lightyear. Let's do it.
yeah,
So Sarah's mum was like a big hot shot. She was it.
hmm,
And Sarah has very much been like a mess up for most of her life,
yeah,
and this is like her chance. This is her. Forget her. I'm gonna be better than her.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring honor to the Snap name. So, oh, okay, yeah, maybe not a couple then, like
Yeah,
a romantic couple. Maybe Sarah has like a best friend who's like, yeah,
that's
I'll,
what
I'll
I was
come along
thinking
with you.
before. Yeah,
Yeah, like an Armin or something like that,
hmm,
but not a night. See, I can make that reference now
yeah,
because you had. Um, but like something to the effect of that.
hmm,
So they're very much like, yeah, we're gonna go, we're gonna do this, we're gonna be hot shit. So they're on the ship, and
they just get on there and they're like, they in the like first map of Among Us, they've got like a cafeteria bit, which is where they
mm-hmm.
pretty much go to do the meetings. And let's say they all sit down there for like a first meeting thing, you know. I think it was a meme to be like, oh, whoever like starts a meeting just to say hello, like gets kicked out of the ship. And so but yeah, they do that. They're like, right, let's go around the table. Let's say like, oh, one thing about yourself or whatever. Like, who are you? You know, what made you come join this thing? So you got Sarah Snap. You know, oh, someone instantly goes, oh, you're Bardavar's daughter. She's like, well, I'd rather
I thought you
not
said
be.
Burner Boy.
Oh no. She's like, oh, I'd rather not be associated with that. Like, I'm here to make my own way. You know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the next Snap. And then her best mate goes, "Yeah, I'm doctor." She's let's say she's a doctor. Doctor.
Nice.
Um, I'm trying to look around my room for names. Uh, Catherine. Uh,
Road.
yeah, Catherine Road, but everybody can call me Cat. Doctor Cat.
Okay.
Um,
Meow.
she's like, "Yeah, I wanna go up here because like." You know, I want to learn about medical stuff in space and whatever. Whatever.
Medical space.
Then
Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
the next person is like, she's quite a bubbly character, let's say, and her name is
Bubbles.
yeah, Bubbles, Bubbles, and
That could be
she's
a
like,
nickname.
oh yeah, I just want to talk to people. I'm just here to like meet new people and stuff. You know, I all this training. It's if there's people out there, who knows, all that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Then the
Like
next one is yeah,
like a young Alison Brie kind of like in
yeah.
Community.
hmm
Okay.
the next one is the butch one you said about
Yeah.
uh, Hearty, and she's like, yeah, hi, I'm you know,
I'm
I'm
hot.
here. I'm the muscle of the group. You know, I'm here to make sure none of you like do anything stupid, and if any fights break out, you'll be dealing with me. So that's four. Um,
Okay.
next you've got like a sort of shy one, like a no, not
Mhm.
really shy, just like a I don't really care sort of thing. I don't really want to be here, and she's like maybe a daughter of someone else as well. So like, whereas um our main girl is like there to
Sarah
make a
Snap.
name for herself, like not for her own, like to get out of her mother's shadow. That this girl, she's up there because her father put her there because he's like, you need to do something with your life. Like
Yeah.
otherwise,
Like
she's
stop
just
wasting your
sitting
time.
around smoking pot or something like that.
Yeah.
And then so she's like, yeah, I don't really care about
Annie.
this.
Let's call her Annie.
Yeah, she's like, I don't really care about this. You know, well, I'll just do the work that I need to do, whatever.
Mhm.
Then so that's five. Then we've got uh,
Mhm.
she goes by E, and she's
Mhm.
like a very technical person, and she's like knows about computers and stuff, and yeah, she's just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be manning a lot of the controls, and yeah,
Womaning.
pretty much like that. And
Um.
then
Okay. Oh, I've got Hunter Schafer for her.
okay,
You know from Euphoria.
okay, yeah, and then we'll do one more because there needs to be like one person. Yeah, well, six, five, seven, seven. Yeah, seven.
Yeah.
We'll
Just last person be like the captain.
yeah, and I'm Captain Petra. So
Pay Retra.
yeah, it's just
Oh, Gina Rodriguez
okay.
from Jane the Virgin.
All right. So yeah, that's our crew. Took us a little bit to get through that, but it's whatever. So whereas like in the beginning of thing, it come up with, shush, you're the imposter, or there is a imposter among us, or whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, with this, we'll do like a day thing, and yeah. So maybe there could be other people on the ship as well, like a few more, so that like to just find the murders. But these are our main ones, and one of
Yeah.
those is the murderer. And
Okay.
so day one, like everybody's getting to know like one another. They're all like getting in their own bunks, and like Sarah's like, yeah, like this could be good for us, you know, like this could be a start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
Uh.
No,
Yeah.
but he's like, well, what could go wrong? You know, this is like a basically a holiday for us, but it's a chance to like make ourselves known as well. And that's when like the power just shuts out after that. And
Okay.
then they're like this alarm starts going off, and then they have these like phone things that say, oh, um there is two people need to go to for reactors. So there's one reactor on one side of the ship and another side of the ship, just
Mhm.
like in the game. And so like they
Okay.
have to press the button at the same time, and it's counting down. Is like if you don't do it now, then you have to like within like a minute or whatever. That's probably a bit too little, but if you don't do it between this time, then all the power's gonna get shut off, and you need to go outside of the ship to fix it. So then
Okay.
like
Okay.
people are scrambling. They're like, oh my god, this is like the first issue we've ever had. So one
Yeah.
person goes to one side, one person goes to another, and then they're like, oh, this is Radavar on com one. Are you ready to pull? And then they're like, yeah. They pull it, and the power comes on. Phew, that's good.
Okay.
And they're like, then the captain's like, oh, that's strange. Like, I've been on this ship many times before, like testing, and this has never happened. Like, the only thing like that could warrant this happening is someone could have controls to turn it off. And
Okay.
just like in Among Us, the imposter, they are able to turn off the they have like controls to turn off things, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get you. Yeah, so like, so they can control shit. So then people have to go there, so
Yeah,
no one
yeah,
can
yeah,
kill
yeah.
them or
So
whatever.
they can
Okay.
shut
Yeah, I get you.
doors, and they can turn off the oxygen and the power and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it easier to like do imposter things, pretty much. So like one scene I think would be our main girl. She's in like a hallway, maybe like fixing one of the lights in there or something, changing a light bulb. And she's in there with like another girl, maybe Bubbly, Bubbles, whatever her name was. And they're just like talking, getting to know each other, and then well, the doors shut. And like
Okay.
because they're like one of the automatic doors, you have to walk up to them. Like Sarah's about to leave, and the door just shuts on her. She's like, oh, what's going on here? She's like waving above it, like jumping up and down, like in Toy Story. And
Yeah.
they Bubbles is like, oh, I don't know. And then it gets like really creepy, and it looks like Bubbles is about to like attack her, and then they just hear a scream, and then they get a notification on their phone. It's like, boom, dead body reported, and they're like, oh my god, what the hell's what? And they're like meeting in the cafeteria now, and everyone just runs in, like, what's going on? Why is dead body reported? Huh? I've never seen that before. This wasn't in any of the training. Rah, 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 rah. Someone's like, all right, shut up, shut up, shut up. We've only got like a couple minutes to do these meetings because you know everybody needs to be back at their stations. But there's been a murder. Like, tell me where you all were, what you were doing, who you were with, all that kind of stuff. And then so obviously like Bubbles and Sarah go, oh, we were in the West Wing hallway, and like the door's shut on us. So you know, I don't know why that would happen, but we were together. We couldn't get out of there. Like, right, that writes you off. Uh,
Mm.
Kat was like, yeah, I was over here doing this thing, like in the mess hall. And they're like, hold on, where was the body reported? And they say, oh, main reactor B or something. So who was around that area? And then maybe the security guard was like, oh, I was patrolling like 2 stations away from that. And they're like, right, well, you need to stay behind then because that sounds a little bit sus.
It's a bit sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go, well, she's like, well, my main goal on this ship is to protect everyone. Why would I have that? And then maybe the pothead, she's just like, oh, well, that doesn't mean, you wouldn't be able to murder someone, like something like that.
Yeah. So tensions are starting to rise
Yeah.
between the crew and whatnot. Okay.
So they like this is this seed that has been planted that someone else is like that, and they're like, right, well, for now, like we've got no evidence to go on. We'll be trying looking at cameras and stuff, but those might have been cut as well. So we'll have a look and we'll get back to people, keep you updated. So now everybody's like, no one gets kicked out at that point because obviously after a meeting, people can have to get kicked out, and then in the game, like if you don't vote someone to get kicked out, then the imposter just can kill everyone and then start to win. So that night, like everyone's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Can we like get discharged or whatever? They're like, no, you need to stay on the ship. We haven't got like an escape pod to go or whatever. Like everybody goes until the mission's complete up here. So next day, what happens the next day? You take it from here.
Okay. So next day, it cuts to Sarah, and she's like sat in her bunk bed, just like with her arm behind her head like that, just staring at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so the captain's tried to keep everything under wraps. She's like just trying to calm everyone down because she doesn't want everyone like bickering amongst each other and blaming and pointing fingers. Because it's in times like that, when things like that happen, that's when the real thing that kills people is doubt.
Yeah.
So Sarah's just sat in bed and she's like, well, that doesn't make sense. She's like picking apart. So whatever story that the captain told for them all.
Yeah.
She's like, that doesn't make sense. This isn't, like, yeah, we were together, but something's not adding up. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And she says this to her best mate, whose name escapes me.
Cat.
Cat. Yeah. So wait, who was it who died again? Sorry.
It could just be random no name at this point at first.
Just some random crewman.
Yeah. But then, as the days are going on, it's gonna start being.
Yeah. So like maybe at the beginning they could be like, oh, it was an accident. He slipped and fell or something.
Yeah.
Some bullshit like that.
That was the only thing, that could cover the story properly. The only reasonable explanation, I guess.
Mm. Oh, okay, yeah. So what if then he was he accidentally got like ejected himself into space or something?
Yeah,
that's what killed him. Mm-hmm. But then Kat sat in bed and she's like, oh well, that's his line was cut, like it wasn't untied or whatever, because they always have to be tied up to something if they're in that area or something like that.
Yeah.
So most of the other like core members are just like, yes, it's whatever, dude. That crewman was an idiot. So like maybe we see him earlier like messing around or something, and I'm like, yeah, he was whatever. He was a fool. He was a dickhead. But it's not sitting right with Kat.
Yeah.
Not Kat. With Sarah. Sorry.
Sarah.
Too many names.
Yeah.
Too many. It's not sitting right with Sarah. And then it smash cuts to her, and she's like sat in the cafeteria again, and she sat with Kat, and Kat's like, you okay? You've barely touched your oatmeal. She just looks down, and it's just like schlock. It's just just gloopy nothing. And then maybe she gets into an argument with one of so one of the girls is like is kind of bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like
the one.
And she like picks a fight with which one?
The one with the dad who sent her up, the pothead one. I keep saying, but
yeah. And so she's like, oh, what do you think you're? Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe like her dad is like also in the shadow of Sarah's mum.
Yeah.
In the same way that like Endeavour.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he sent her up there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so we got a little Shoto Deku action going on here. Okay. Um. Yeah, just anyone who doesn't watch My Hero is just listening to this like, what the hell are they on about? So like, yeah, she's got like that Malfoy complex as well. She's
Yeah.
like, my father's twice the man your mum. What, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, my dad, blah 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 blah. And like Sarah just turns around and comes out with like a one liner or something. And then what's her name? The bitchy one goes, yeah, well at least my dad's still around.
Oh.
And everyone just goes quiet. And she slams down her oatmeal. And Kat's like, Sarah, and Sarah's like, no, it's fine, and just walks off. And you see one of the other girls, so the tech one, who's played by Hunter Schafer, let's call her Lily. Oh no, E, that was her name, sorry.
Yeah.
Her name, yeah, what if her name's Lily, but she just goes by E?
Yeah, sure.
And you kind of see her face, and she looks bad. Not as in she looks bad, but like she looks like she feels bad for her.
Yeah.
And so Kat gets up and chases after her friend, and you just see Sarah just like sat on her own, just like bouncing a ball in the hallway, but it takes longer to come back because the gravity's yeah space. So she's as Kat comes and sits with her, and she's like, hey, you shouldn't let her get to you like that. And she's like, it is what it is. I hate living in her shadow like that. Like, oh, everyone's always talking about how great she is and how many amazing things she did and how she did that and how she did this, but that's not the woman I knew. The woman I knew was never home. The woman I knew forgot my birthday every year. The woman I knew,
That's
very
sad
stuff
moment.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's why she's got that air of resentment towards her mum, because to everyone else, her mum's this big hero who went off and did this and sacrificed her life in space for something.
Yeah.
But to her, there isn't a hero. There's just a woman who wasn't there for her. There's a woman, a mother who decided that she'd rather go off and die than spend time with her daughter.
When somebody loved me.
Why are we referencing Toy Story so much this week? Yeah. So, anyway, E comes out, and he's like, no. So the two of them are still talking about, and then she gets onto the topic of how she doesn't trust, like that the crewman just died randomly or whatever. She's like, something just doesn't feel right. Blah 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 blah. And what's her name? And then E comes out and's like, I think you might be right about that.
Oh.
And then she's like, you better come take a look at this. One of those cliche.
Yeah.
And she's like sat behind her computer and she's like, she's like, I went into his file and the thing said that he forgot to tie his thing or something. Look, here's a picture of him like logging in, because like when you log onto the ship, you have to like scan, you like take a picture or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, in space.
Swipe your card. Like that's what you do.
Yeah.
They have a swipe thing in the game.
Okay. Yeah. So like you have to swipe to prove that you've like tied yourself to the thing and whatnot, and that your gear's up to scratch and blah blah blah. And she's like, look, he registered in here. His everything's like according to normal. So what's going on? Like there's clearly sabotage. And then she like hacks into the firewall and piggybacks off the USB. Blah blah blah. And she's like, look, here are the actual files. And it shows like pictures of his thing being, and it's like properly cut and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's when Sarah's like, I know it. We can't really trust anyone, but we can't be saying anything either.
Yeah.
So then they carry on. They go about their days. A few days pass. It's same old. They're just doing tasks and whatnot. But hearing that more and more crew members are just
Dying.
disappearing, like they're just vanishing here and there. They're like, poof, where's Jackson? He's gone. Well, oh, where's Latrell? Oh, Latrell. Oh, he actually slipped and broke his neck with a knife.
Hmm.
Oh, that's crazy. You know. Until let's say we're down to like, should we say just the main crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's where I
So.
guess they're gonna be like, right, something going on here. You know, all these people are massive. Like our crew was quite big. We had about 12 people. Now we're down to 7. And then like, right, what's happening? What's all your stories? You know, you're all still here. What what are we saying? What's the cause here? And everyone's like, well, I don't know. And it's like he's like, oh, it is very suspicious. Like, who knows what's going on? And then that's when they all get an alert on their phone of like oxygen depleting, and they're like, what the hell? They all like have to get up from this meeting, like rush to like the oxygen things. It's the same thing as like the power where they have to like make these switches, or else if the oxygen's cut off, like there's no way to get it back.
Yeah.
So they're like, all these girls are like scrambling, running through the like halls and stuff. And obviously we were on Sarah, and she's like runs into one of the rooms, and let's say they all went different ways, and then she sees Bubbles and the security one, the main security girl,
Mhm.
and they're like, they look like they're arguing a bit, and Sarah's like, oh, what's going on here? And then they look at Sarah coming, and they're like, oh, do you know if anyone else has gone to the other one? And she's like, oh, I'm pretty sure that the other 4 could have handled it. And like, right, well, uh, whatever, let's flip this switch. And it's like, oh, there's tension in the air. And Sarah's like, what have I just walked
Mhm.
into here? And that's when they all come back through the. So these 3 are walking, and yeah, in front of them, there's a dead body reported.
Okay.
Who should it be? Who do you think? Should it be E?
I think it should be, yeah. Let's say E.
Yeah. So all 3 of them, like, they're like, oh my god. They like look at Cat. Cat looks at them. Not Cat, sorry, Sarah. And they're like, "Well,
Mm.
shit." They run all back to the cafeteria. They're like, "Oh, what took you guys so long?" And they're like, "There's a dead body like in front of
Ooh.
us."
Okay.
Go
Yeah.
on.
I was gonna. Do you have an idea? Like, don't say it yet, but do you have a rough idea of who you think the imposter should be?
Yeah,
I have
kind of.
an inkling
Yeah.
of an idea.
Okay,
Okay.
so they get there. They're back at this place. They're like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, right, we said a dead body. They're like, "Yeah, just from where we were coming up." And they're like, "Right, well, that narrows down our suspect. Then it was definitely one of you guys." They're like, "What?" Like, no, like we were like, well, first, Bubbles and the security lady go, well, you know, we were already there. Like, we came from this way together. And then they're like, yeah, Sarah can vouch for us, but Sarah came separately from us. And then Sarah's like,
Ooh.
well, you know, I came and saw you guys arguing, so I know it definitely wasn't me. And they're like, well, it's your word against mine, and your word against mine, rah, rah, rah. And the captain's like, right, shut up. Like, I'm losing.
Change fucking mouth.
I'm losing people here. Like, one of you have done it, and I need to know now. And you're getting off my ship. I'm putting you out there into the cold air. And they're like, what? Like, this is
The cold
this is
air.
like heresy. Whatever. Like, you're killing us now.
That's a great
Like,
word.
this is you could be worse than them if you're gonna kill one of us. Like, what if one of us didn't do it? They're like, I don't care. I'm willing to take that chance. You know, we're close to getting this mission done. Like, but I can't come back with one person left in my crew. But they're like, oh my god, right. Well, they look at each other, and then it's silent for a minute. They look back at the captain, and they all just start shouting again. And the captain just like, I don't know. She pulls out a gun from like her thing. And she's about to fire it into the air. And she's like, oh, hold on, wait. That's if I do that, then
Space.
yeah. So she just like chucks something on the ground. She's like, 30 seconds. One of you tell me who it was, or else you're all going.
Fuck it, you're all going. Fuck my crew.
like,
You're all
just,
going
just
out.
those like those three, and they're like, yeah, well, we can do
Yeah,
it with
yeah.
just we could do it with three of us, whatever. It would be hard, but we could do it with three of us. And then uh Bubbles is like the first one to speak up. You wouldn't think so,
Mm.
but then she goes, "It was security one." And then she was like, security one turns around and goes, "You bitch!" Like, just because of what happened earlier, is blah blah. And they're like, "Well, what happened
Yeah,
earlier?
you're gonna
Is
frame
this
me for.
yeah? Is this motivated by something else, Bubbles? Like, I won't have you doing it without a thing." She's like, "Well,
Mum is lollygagging.
I don't know." It's like, ugh. And then Sarah looks at her and goes, "Bubbles, is something going on with her? Like, do you think she's actually the murderer?" And she
Yeah.
goes, "Well, I the thing is, I he's like, she's just jealous." And this is when like the one with the dad pipes up, the bad one. She goes, "She's just jealous because Bubbles had feelings for her, but she she was on it with someone else. Like,
Yeah.
she was on it with E maybe." And then they go, "Well, oh god, then Bubbles, maybe you killed E because you were the one who, you know, maybe you wanted E out the picture." And she goes, "No,
Yeah.
I'd never do that. Like, I'm happy for them, whatever." And Sarah's just here, like, seeing this all go to shit. And then uh, the captain goes, "Oh, Kat, you've been quite quiet. What do you think?"
Meow.
She's like, "Well, I was with you guys. I was on the other side. I came to do that, so I haven't seen anything. I just keep to the med bay and all that. I just stay in
Yeah.
my position. I don't really have a horse in this race. To be well, I'm
Oh yeah, because
surprised."
Cat's a doctor, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm surprised I haven't been taken out of it yet because you know I could have gave these people medical attention, but I haven't seen where they've gone. Like, I think they've just been ejected out of the ship." In which she then goes, something ticks in her head, and she goes, "Hold on, Captain, you were all on talking about people ejecting from the ship." And she just goes, "What's that got to do with the murder we've got here?" And then it just all erupts again, even more. And like, Sarah's like looking around, seeing it all go to shit, and she just sees a smile on like the bitchy one's face. And she starts shouting at her like, "What are you fucking smiling about? Like, are you loving this? Are you the one who done it?" And it's like, oh, it's just loads and loads of shit. And then the captain's like, "Right, you know what? Everybody take an hour. I know I said I'd kick you all out, but it's all heated. I'll go deal with the
I can't be
body."
dealing with this.
Yeah. She's like, "Everybody just think. Don't go too far though. Like, you only can go to your rooms and to the cafeteria. Like, I don't want anyone else to be in anywhere else. If you go out of your rooms, then I'll know, because like she's got the thing on her app."
Yeah.
So then Sarah and Kat go back to their room.
There's an app. For
Yeah. So Sarah and Kat go back to their rooms, and like Sarah's like, "This is all going to shit. This wasn't supposed to be how this happened. Like, it was all supposed to just go well." And then Kat's like, "What do you mean by that?" And Sarah's like, "You seriously not like thinking that I done it?" She's like, "Well, we don't know. I've known you all my life. I don't. I think you wouldn't do that, but maybe with your mum." And she's like, "Fuck you, Kat. Like, why would you say that? Oh my god. Like, we're supposed to be best friends. We've been together lot on this ship and throughout life." And then she just walks out of her room. And Kat's like, "No, you're not supposed to." And
Yeah.
then the door just shuts. It's like, oh, for God's sake. Like,
Okay. Okay.
go on. Well, you take it from here then.
Oh. Alright, so who so I still fall for that. Like you like one of us will clearly like get in like a little rhythm,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, and then you look at me and go, and then I'm like, oh. Okay, and then let's say it's following what's her name then, yeah, Sarah,
Yeah.
and so she just walked out. She needs some air. She's like, grr.
Space air.
Uh, God, I need some space air. What if everything on the ship is like the space this?
Yeah.
Hey, eat your space porridge.
Oh.
Alright, don't have a space bitch fit.
Oh.
So she like storms off or whatever,
Mhm.
and she's like sat in like the record room, and like she bumps into something like in her anger, and like a hologram starts playing.
Oh.
And it's her mum,
Damn.
and her mum's just there, and she's like, I don't know if anyone's gonna see this or blah blah blah, but I feel like I've done a lot of things wrong, I feel like a lot of things have gone bad. There's I don't know maybe it's something in the air, maybe it's something in the space air. Maybe, yeah. But all the crew have gone mad and I'm the only one left. And she's like, and there's only one way to stop it. There's only one way to destroy it. So I have to. This is gonna be goodbye for me. If anyone gets to see this message, please can someone let my daughter Sarah know that you're worth it. No. Can someone let my daughter Sarah know that she means everything to me. She's the reason I go out here. She's the reason why I want to see. I want to set a good example for her. Blah blah blah. And ultimately, I wanted to know that I love her.
Yeah.
Bye. And she does because like we see in like flashbacks at her and her mum when they were like younger, and they used to like giggle and whatnot. They used to like snap at each other, like that was their thing because their surname's Snap.
Yeah.
So they'd be like ah.
Just
And then it's like, so the hologram is like zoomed in on the mum's face, and the whole movie everyone's been telling her how much she looks like her mum. Maybe it's played by the same actress or whatever.
Yeah, just old makeup or whatever.
Exactly. So the whole movie, the hologram's like zoomed in on her face. Not the whole movie, sorry.
Just that scene,
Sorry,
yeah.
Just now. Yeah, just that scene. The hologram zoomed in on her face, and then as it shuts off, it's like right underneath where the hologram was, you just see Sarah's face, and she's crying, and just the smallest like smile comes over her face, and she snaps as well.
No. I think
A lot.
yeah.
Oh my god, that sound popped up on my phone. There's
Just
been
before
another
that,
murder. Yeah?
I think the bitchy girl should be standing in the doorway, and she's like, it's like, that was beautiful or whatever, and then Sarah turns around and just wipes her tears, and she's like, oh, what do you care? It's like, no, seriously, like, I wish my dad would have spoke to me like that. Like, I know how things were throughout your life, and I just want to know, like, I just want you to know, I know I give off this persona and whatnot, but like, we're in this together or whatever. They basically have a moment, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
So who's left?
So
It's so the captain, Sarah, bitchy girl, and her friend,
and Bubbles and
Bubbles,
the security one.
and security one. Okay, cool.
But we can thin the herd now to like see there was a big murder. So there's only like the captain
and
and Bubbles. So the captain's left, and then bitchy cat Sarah.
Okay. So wait, so the captain is alive, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So they all run to their thing, and the captain's just like screaming. She's like, "What did I say? What did I?"
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. And then so what's her name is Sarah. She's still skeptical like she was before, but she's not keeping it in anymore. She's more sure of herself. She's very like headstrong. She's turned into her mother's daughter.
Oh yeah.
She's turned into a Snap.
Oh.
And sorry. And So she's there, and she's like, well, sorry for disobeying orders and blah 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 blah. But I know I was here with bitchy girl.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she's played by Camila Mendes, the one from Riverdale with no lips.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, she's like, oh, I was with her.
Hmm.
Um, and I see these two people here dead. So, where were you, Captain?
No.
And she's like, how dare you? Why would you ask me such a thing? I'm the bloody captain.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then bitchy girl's like, yeah, she's got a point. Where were you, Captain? And then someone else comes around the corner. She's like, yeah, where were you, Captain? And they all just start like circling the captain. And
Yeah.
they like put her in the airlock or whatever, and they're getting ready to like to
Eject
blast
her.
her out into space.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and you just see like a smile on the face of Didn't say it.
Cat. Cat has a big
What the?
Cheshire grin. Right? Is that what we're going for
Yeah.
or not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just before they press it, you see Sarah's face click, and she goes, "No, stop!"
She's gone.
Yeah. But it's too late. The captain's already been shot out into space. Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And Sarah jumps in front of her. She goes, "It was you. It's been you the whole time." She's like, "It took you long enough."
Mm-hmm.
Like she has like a real Kaiser Soze like, like evil reveal.
Yeah.
And she's like, "It took you long enough."
It's like all the scenes are flashing of like where she was in the background and all that.
Do you know what it's like? It's like in in Hoodwinked.
Yeah.
When it just goes through and the evil bunny's just
Yeah.
there like
Pretty much. And let's say Cat like grabs the evil girl and she's like, right, well, there's only one thing really left to do. It's like of her and we can go back to Earth and like say we got rid of the one who was killing everyone and then we could be heroes, this is what you want, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
she's like, well, not like this, I won't make the same mistake as my mom and all that. And, like,
yeah. I want to earn it. I want to
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's a quote that her mum always says and she says the quote or something.
yeah,
The measure of a woman isn't something, I don't know.
Mhm.
I can't think of a quote off the top of my head, but
And then the bitchy girl just elbows Cat, and then she's like, "Quick, run!" And they run up to like something, and then you can see like she's got her phone, like shuts the doors off, and like she's like, "Oh my
Okay.
god, whatever." They're like, "No, they shut the doors off." Sorry, and she's like, "Oh, that's fine." And she crawls into a vent because in Among Us, people go in vents and they can get around easily. I'm just trying to hit as many of those points as ever. So
so this little evil bitch just goes
Yeah.
just scuttles through the bed like
Yeah.
a fucking guinea pig.
And so they like get to like the captain's bit and they go, "Oh, alert! Like we need to be taken back to Earth like right away. All our crew's dead. The captain's gone. We have like a murderer among us." They say it. And he
Hey!
just cuts to me and you're going, "Yeah, they said it." Yeah, so they're like, all right, we'll bring you back like straight away, but it will take you like at least 30 minutes, like through hyperspace or whatever, to get back to Earth. And so it's just them.
So sorry, it's gonna take half an hour.
Well, it obviously not in movie time, but like
yeah.
in real time, that's how long it would take. And they're like, so they're just held up in this room, maybe telling like, try to barricade it, cut off the vents and stuff. You can just hear like scratching at the walls and stuff. And then she's like,
So all the lights are just flashing, and you just hear
Oh.
like through the vents.
and then yeah, so they're like, all right, T minus 10 minutes to Earth or whatever, and then so they're like, oh, after this, you want to get a coffee or whatever, like, yeah, we can be better than our parents or something. Yeah, we can
Like
be
they're
the
not
heroes
still
that
fighting
we
for
need
their
to be.
life.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, sure. So a friendship spawned out of this, and then
Nice.
they're like maybe the oxygen gets cut off one more time, and because they have to be in two separate parts of the ship, they're like, oh god, like if we, they're like, oh well, we have to either go to them or we'll die. Like,
Yeah.
but then they're like, but also one of us will die anyway because she'll just go for one and all that, and it's like, it's whatever. It's just gonna have to be. It is what it is, isn't it? One of us is gonna have to
It
die.
is what it is.
And they just come up with that thing, and then Sarah goes, "Not if we kill her first." And the bitchy girl just looks at her, and is like, "What? What? Why would you think that? Like, it's like, think about it. It's the only way to do it. Like." And they're just like, right, well, we'll go there, we'll prepare. And then they go up to the oxygen bit, so like, right, you ready? You ready to pull it? And then BAM! One of them gets punched in the face. Who is it? Who do you think's the one who's get like the final battle?
Sarah. Sarah gets
Yeah,
punched.
Sarah gets punched in the face. He's like, ha, I'm here. Dr. C, Dr. Cat, Catherine. It's like, um, looks like,
Oh, ooh,
go on.
yeah. What? So like, she gets punched, Sarah, and
Mhm.
she's like, oh, she's like, why are you doing this, Cat? I don't. She's like, call me, stop calling me Cat. So like you see, like this whole time she's like resented her Loki, and she doesn't
Yeah.
like that she gets called Cat and or some shit. I don't know, just something petty like that, you know.
Yeah.
That was it. Sorry, that's all I wanted to.
And then so goes through the fight, and then Sarah gets the upper hand, and then she's like, do it. Go on, do it. Like, you know, if you do this, like, your life's over. Like, you'll never be the space ranger that you want it to be, and all that. And she's like, well, she's like, well, it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make if, you know, at least one of us can get out of here alive, or at least we can both get out of here alive. And then the oxygen's like on 10% or whatever, and she's like, oh crap. So she's like holding her down, kind of, and like she's like ready to pull it, and then they pull it. So okay. And then it's like, Cat's like, well, you've only got one thing left to do now, and she's like, no, I can just tie you up. Like, it's fine. We've won. Like, I'm not gonna stoop to your level. And then the bitchy girl comes in, and she's like, she's running, she's sprinting, and she's like, tackles Lady Sarah out of the way, and Sarah's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? Like, I thought we, like, what's going on?" And
Oh.
she's like, "Well, like, I know you wouldn't do it, but she's caused too much pain. Like, she needs to die." She's like, "No, don't do it." And then, bam, just stabs her, pretty much. It's like it had to happen. Like, I'm not, I wasn't gonna let her get away with all of this easily and all that. She's like, how could you? Like, you know, things aren't gonna go good. And she's like, well, if it means that it stains my father's reputation as well, then that's all
So
I
yeah.
care about. And then the ship's like landed, and all the crew comes rushing in. They're like, oh my god, what's going on? What's happened? And they're like, the bitch girl's just like, yeah, I did it. I killed everyone. It was me. And yeah. Fast forward to like 2 years later. It's maybe like Sarah's at a book signing or whatever. And it was like she,
Among Us.
yeah, she wrote the book of Among Us, pretty
Nice.
much. And she's like, a little girl comes up to her and she's like, says maybe the quote that her mom says, because it was like the four note was like for Mrs. Snap, like, then the little girl,
Abigail.
yeah, and the little girl comes up and says the quote, and she's like, remembers like all her thing. Yeah, that's Among Us pretty much. Not bad.
No. But then how it actually ends
Oh, go on.
is it then pans out, and we're like, so what do you think? And the Hollywood execs go, get out,
Okay,
get out. We're
again?
not doing this again.
Fuck's sake. Who let you in here again?
No, I'm taking the piss. So I quite liked your ending.
Yeah, it was fine. it took us a while to get there, but it's whatever. That's Among
Yeah.
Us. Yeah, it's not the
Oh,
game I was expecting to get, but it was fine. You know,
yeah.
that would
It,
be
it
like
was like it was a fun little romp.
yeah, it'd be like a 7, maybe a 6 on IMDb.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, be one of the ones that you're like, yeah, it's on TV. Fuck it, why not? So
Oh,
yeah,
that had me. Oh, that was quite funny. So, tell you what, I've got something I'd like to try out here.
a real first.
A real first. I'm gonna try and introduce a new segment, which will be like a kind of like a Q&A kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes out to you as well, anyone listening. If you wanna drop us any questions on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook. I mean, no one uses Facebook, but you know how it is. So on the Instagram, on the Twitter, etc., etc. You know what to do. We're at That Real Podcast or Reinventing the Reel, and we'll come up. You see our little logo with our two beautiful names next to it. So the very first question that we have, I feel like we should get a. I'll work on like a little jingle for this little section.
Okay.
But the very first question we have comes from my mum, of all people.
Hey.
Long time, first time. You know how it is. And she's come in with, what the hell are you guys on about half the time?
I think we should just end it there. That should be it. Don't even answer the question. No. You want to take it or shall I then?
We'll do a bit of both. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, alright. Well, our minds are very similar, and you know that's how I think.
Yeah.
The podcast does so well between us. So
Yeah.
it goes with that and our imagination that we can just make up random stuff. So I can't really tell you what we're on about half the time. Hopefully, it's to do with the movies that we're covering. I hope like maybe I'm missing something here, and maybe it's coming across that it's not the same. But yeah, what do you think?
I'm a very much like you. I think I love that we think very similarly. And I think we know each other so well that if there's an idea that we're not really feeling, like we're not really afraid to say it. Like we'll be like, yeah. Like, we don't do that thing where we're like, yeah, that's an okay idea, but maybe, we just kind of go, yeah, but what about this?
Yeah.
And then if one sticks, like when we just messaged each other about who we think should be the killer. We had two conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
But it's very much just like a whichever one works better for the story. And we go, yeah, cool. And also I just, I love you, man. And it's truly the highlight of my week getting to sit down with you and just chat shit.
Yeah, same here. I've two, man.
Yeah.
Well, I've been Cameron.
And I've been cut. Those were all the questions we had this week.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do one. We don't have to tell them that. We'll do one a week. It's whatever.
Yeah. We cut that last bit out.
All right. See you next week, man.
I'll see you next week, man.